This is an ending to the DLC, and this is the ending to the base game. Do you see a problem? Well, I do. This is Sonic Frontiers, the latest Sonic solo game we have. I want to go over why the DLC with the ending of the game so much more justice than the base game could ever do. Oh yeah, like and subscribe.
Start living dangerously. Talk to me, baby. I'm going up from this sweet baby. Oh, let's lose our minds and go.
Before we get into today's video, I have an announcement. Now I know my profile and the picture I talk through changes a lot. It's time to put that to rest with this.
Got it. Ain't I clean?
Okay, Sonic Frontier is a game about Sonic and look, I didn't make this video to talk about how the game story is. I will say I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. It's a better Sonic game than most games that came out during that time, but it's fun. But I will talk about what leads up to the endings. So, in Sonic Frontiers, Sonic and Gang are trapped in this cyberspace world by a thing called the End, and by defeating the giant monsters called Titans and collecting the Chaos Emeralds, can you defeat the End and escape. Now the final boss. So, after you collect all of the Chaos Emeralds, you fight a boss called Supreme, which at the time of my first playthrough, I thought was the final boss. But in actuality, you only beat the first phase, because the next phase is the actual boss, the End. You might be asking, okay, what's the problem? Well, the problem is that the last boss fight in a Sonic game doesn't play like a Sonic game. It plays more like Galactica. Now, granted, you only play this on the hard mode of the game, but for most people that want the true ending, you have to do this gameplay. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the final boss is completely terrible, but think about what you just played for the entire 15 to 20 minutes of the game. You are Sonic. You're running, you're getting abilities, you're doing supersonic things. But then at the last parts of the game, to leave the last final impressions, it's a shoot 'em up. That is what makes no sense to me. Now, the Final Horizon DLC, which does basically the same exact sequence as the base game, you get all the Chaos Emeralds, and you have to fight Supreme. But there is a difference. When you beat Supreme, instead of you going to space to play bootleg Galactica, the Moon Rock thing comes to you and becomes one with Supreme, becoming the End. When you fight that version, at a certain part in the fight, Sonic actually uses the cyberspace energy to buff himself, making him like a Super Sonic 2 in Dragon Ball Z terms. It makes the ending feel more exciting that way, having Sonic be able to learn something new. And look, I'm not the only one who thinks this. How do you feel about the two different endings, like the DLC endings and the normal ending? Like with the Galactica bull crap.
I never played on hard. I never played it on hard.
So Eggman's there, and it actually has one of my favorite parts in the game. Eggman shoots Sonic. He literally shoots Sonic through a giant gun towards the End. And that is so sick to me. It shows that Eggman, besides all his differences, is willing to help Sonic in more ways than one. And when you see Sonic getting launched towards the End, It feels like the entire game is coming together. Everyone is contributing, Sonic is fighting, the end is finally being confronted directly, and Sonic gets the last shot. That feels like the ending to a Sonic game. And this is why I have a hard time going back to the original ending after playing the Final Horizon DLC. Because Final Horizon fixes a lot of problems I had with the original. The base game says something like, okay Sonic, you've defeated the Titans, you've become Super Sonic, now, here's a completely different game. Final Horizon says, okay Sonic, you defeated the Titans, you've become Super Sonic, now, let's see just how far we can push this. And that's a huge difference. One ending feels like the game is stepping away from everything it built. Other feels like the game is finally paying off everything it's built. And that's why I honestly think Final Horizon feels like the ending Sonic Frontiers should have had in the beginning. Now I don't want to sound like this video is me just saying the Final Horizon DLC is so much better than the base game and it's just perfect, because it's not. The DLC has its own problems. The difficulty spike is insane. Some of the new challenges can be frustrating. And there are definitely moments where the game feels like it's trying to punish you for no reason. But here's the funny part. Even with all those problems, I still prefer its finale. Because when I reached the end of Final Frontiers, I didn't feel disappointed. I felt excited for the next installment of Sonic. And that's exactly what I want from a Sonic game. And maybe that's the biggest problem with the original ending. It's not that the end is a bad concept. It's not that the shoot 'em up gameplay is inherently bad. It's not even that the original final boss is impossible to enjoy. The problem is that the game spends so much time building towards one type of finale and then gives us something completely different. And then, when the DLC comes out, it proves that you can have all those things without sacrificing the Sonic gameplay. So after playing Final Frontiers, going back to the original ending just doesn't hit the same. One ending made me think, oh, that's cool I guess. And the other one made me think, why wasn't this the original ending to the game? And honestly, that's probably the biggest compliment I can give Final Horizon. Because DLC shouldn't make you look at the original game and think, wait, why wasn't this the ending? Thank you guys for tuning into this video. I don't know why this video took me so long to make. It literally is not even gonna be that long. But you know, life be lifing. So get off my back. I hope y'all enjoyed. More videos coming out soon. I'm thinking I'm gonna make a giant rant on my problems with Spider-Man 2. So that might take a while just to get all my thoughts in order. And I know it's a little overdue, but you know, I want to put my, what is it called, hat in the ringer. I don't even remember. But you know, have a go. I'll see ya.
Jump up, we got the shit gone wild. How could it not be? How could it not be? Yeah, who else could pull up with bad is my favorite one covered in Doji. If life is a game, then I'm OP. Done be in 2014. Yeah, she give me that sugar, it's so sweet. Tell her about something, she's so eat. She giving me brains and I'm dopey. Key in the lot so she don't leave. We can't be homies, all this sex talk like a lonely. Can you shake it like an aerobic? Make it jump like a aerobic. We're undercover like my clothing. They saw the swag and they started to clone it. I'm driving that shit like a stoner.